Hello everybody, my name is Mario for Cos Spirit and welcome to the channel. Today I want to do a video on the movie Batman Begins. I know it's an older movie, but I think it's a very spiritual movie, and you'll understand what I mean when I explain the movie to you. But I think it's a very spiritual movie, and I think it's worth look at it, like reviewing it from a spiritual perspective. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in two parts, because I was looking at it and it seems like this looks like there's going to be a lot to talk about. So I'm going to do it in two parts. The first part is going to be when he learns to become Batman, and the second part is when he actually is Batman. Okay, so here we go. So for whoever hasn't watched it, by the way, I recommend that you do watch it. It's a very interesting movie, and it is. If you depending on how you look at it, you can really perceive it as a very spiritual movie as well. And for all of you that have watched it as well, that have already watched it, then what I'll say or how I explain this will be a little more clearer to you. But for right now, I'm gonna go quickly how the movie develops, and I'll talk about the spiritual perspective behind it. So basically, the movie starts where Bruce Wayne is in jail because he's trying to understand the criminal, right? So it starts with him in jail, and then his mentor comes in and gets him out of jail and asks him if he wants to learn how to fight crime. Come to this place and we will teach you, right? He's part of this group, the League of Shadows they're called, right? So basically, that's how it starts. So he's in jail. Liam Neeson's character starts talking to him when he's in solitary. And so anyways, I'll be bouncing back and forth because in the beginning, when he's learning to becoming Batman, he's going to his childhood, he's regressing to his childhood and his memories, and he's learning how to deal with his memories, right? And that's how he learns to become Batman. So anyways, so the one part, and I'll be bouncing around a lot, so like I said, it's easier if you saw the movie, but just bear with me. So anyways, so at one part, when he was regressing into his childhood, his father, Bruce Wayne, had, as a little child, had found an old well, and he actually he didn't find it, he actually fell through an old well, and that's where he met all these bats, and he got scared of bats. So his father, which was a doctor, got him out and said to him, "Why did we fall, Bruce?" And he said, "So we can learn to get back up." Now, from a social perspective, from where humans are in the evolution right now, yeah, that may make sense. But from a spiritual perspective, why do we fall? Because we lost our focus. Because we lost our way. We lost our touch with God, our relationship, our closeness to relationship with God. That's why we fall. And what can we do about it? Learn from the experience, change what was negative, and move forward. Okay, so basically that's about it for that part there. So when Liam Neeson's character was talking to Bruce in solitary, he said, "A man can be destroyed, but if a man becomes an ideal, he becomes a legend." Now I looked up legend. The legend means becoming famous. Now that's good if your ideal is positive, like compassion, understanding, unconditional love. But if it's negative, you may not want to be a legend. You don't want to be too famous. So anyways, so the next thing was, when Liam Neeson's character was talking to Bruce, he says, tomorrow you'll be released from jail. So you go to a certain area, you find a blue flower, pick the blue flower, and then climb the mountain and get to where we are. If you can do that, you may find what you were looking for. And Bruce says, "Well, what am I looking for?" And Liam Neeson's character says, "Well, only you can know that," which is true. Like, we all have a general purpose for being here, to grow, to expand, to ascend, but only you can specifically know where your demons are, where your issues are, and how to release them, how to give them to God, so you can turn them into light, and that way you'll be able to ascend. So at one part, they're talking about mastering your fear. I looked up mastering your fear, and basically what it means is to release your fear, to you give up your fear, not to experience fear anymore. Now, if you look, also looked up mastering something, and it means to be good at something. So the two really doesn't work. It's too confusing. The subconscious doesn't need all that confusion. It's easier to keep it simple. So if they would have just said, "We'll teach you how to let go of your fear and become more powerful," I think there would have been a better way to present that. So, a lot of this is that Bruce Wayne, because because when he was a child, he was in the theater, and he got scared because there were bats in the theater, in the production, where humans dressed as bats. So his father left with Bruce and his wife, Bruce's mom, and when they were out in the alley, his parents got gunned down. So now Bruce feels guilty for what happened to his parents, and obviously he's scarred because he saw his parents get killed in front of him as a child, right? So Liam Neeson's character says, "You feel guilty for that." He goes, "Well, my anger, I buried my guilt with my anger." And so Liam says, "Well," he goes, "Your anger can give you great power, but can also destroy you. We could teach you to not to use that anger for power, and not for self-destruction. But at the end of the day, anger does not give you power. It's like cotton candy. It feels good at first, but then after all the smoke is cleared, it's that darkness, your triggers are still there. And the anger, the triggers, the fear that creates anger needs to be released." So basically that's one of the illusions that I picked up in the movie. So, and then a lot of things that I found, like in the beginning, especially when he was talking to Rachel Dawes, which was a childhood friend of his, and she grew up to become a prosecutor. She was almost making him feel guilty for wanting revenge on the guy that killed his parents. But you have to understand that he was just a child. He was scarred. He was traumatized as a child. He saw his parents killed in front of him. Never mind just killed, but in front of him. So yeah, that would have an effect on how he would act as an adult. Unless we deal with our childhood traumas, they're still going to play a part in our character, right? So I didn't think that was good in the movie. You know, she said that, you know, because he wanted revenge. She said that his father would be ashamed of him. Well, his father right now, let's say was real, right now, he's in heaven. He's not ashamed of his son. He knows what some of that can do to a child, so his father would not be ashamed. So that's, you know, an improper statement. So at one part too, Liam Neeson's character was trying to trigger him and saying, you know, your dad's death wasn't your fault, it was his fault. And Bruce got angry, and he's like, your anger is clouding you. He goes, it doesn't matter if you get angry or not, it's still his fault, right? So get rid of your anger. You can see more clearly, and you can deal with things more intelligently. Then they also spoke about justice and vengeance. I looked up justice. It said just behavior or treatment. I guess for something you've done, you get proper treatment for what you've done, which I guess would be a bad thing, so you would get bad treatment. Vengeance, punishment, or retribution for an injury or a wrong. Well, to me, from what I could tell on Google, it's pretty much the same thing. So that was an illusion there as well. Falcone, which if you watch the movie, if you've seen the movie, you know who he is. If you watch it, you'll understand who he is. He said at one point, you always fear what you don't understand. I wouldn't say that completely, but I think in large part humans do fear what they don't understand. So like knowledge is power, right? Especially dealing with what we're dealing with the spiritual world and dealing with our demons. Knowledge is power. And then there's statements in the movie saying like, to conquer fear, you must become fear. Well, how can you you conquer something, you become. That doesn't make much sense. Or we have purged your fear by you becoming fear. Like, still doesn't make much sense. The one line I liked was, you fear your own power, your own fear, right? So how much of us do fear our power? Do fear the light? Remember Moses and the fire of creation, right? He couldn't bear the light. Same thing. How many of us fear our true potential, right? How many of us fear fear, right? So I thought that was a good statement. I thought that was very powerful. I mean, if you can see where you're afraid of your potentials, and you can release that fear, think about how much you'll be able to accomplish. Yeah, so anyways, just to recap and just to give you my final analysis of this first part of the movie, I thought it was good. When I first saw it, back when it came out, I just felt like I can do that. And it really made it humane. So if you can do what he does, like, you could do like anything. Like, if you are a messenger of compassion, then you can do that. A messenger of truth, you can do that. I think it really made people feel, at least it made me feel that, you know, that doing those great things was possible, right? So I thought he did a good job on that part of the movie. You know, the whole beginning, how him becoming Batman, that was awesome. I mean, I brought out a lot of illusions, and that's fine. But the movie itself was made very, very well. Yeah, like, you know, they try to make him feel guilty for what has happened. I mean, he's got nothing to feel guilty about. If you want to become more powerful, release your guilt, release your judgment, right, and find a way to deal with these issues in an intelligent fashion. There's a lot of bad things happening, and yeah, we need to deal with that in a legal justice way. That's fine, but we have to figure out why these things are happening as well, right? We need to learn to break this circle. Okay, so that's, you know, that's one thing that they didn't really touch into to the movie, but, you know, it's just Batman. It's not a spiritual movie, mind you. I just thought it was interesting about a lot of the spiritual stuff they had in it. So yeah, so for right now, I'm gonna leave it there. The next video I'll do is when he is Batman and to the end of the movie. So for now, I'm gonna leave it there. So hopefully this was useful. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll watch the movie. Even if you watch it again, I mean, a lot of times I'll watch a movie 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't catch that the first time, right? I didn't see that the first time, right? So you know what? You know, if you want to watch it again, you may see certain things that you never saw before, and it may inspire you, right? And even if you see an illusion, that's inspiring. If you can pick up on illusions, that's a good thing. It means you're evolving. It means you're getting smarter, right? So anyways, we'll leave it there for right now, and have a pleasant day. Thank you.